For the second time in 2 months, there's been a shooting in Times Square, and we have a closer look at the moment the suspect opened fire.
Dangerous heat and humidity this week. We'll tell you how hot it'll get.
An athlete from New Jersey obliterates a world record at the U.S. Olympic trials. This is News 4 Now for June 28th. I'm Adam Cooperstein, and we are entering a period of extreme heat, the kind that can be dangerous if you're not prepared for it. That's why cooling centers are going to be open across the 5 boroughs. Temperatures are now expected to soar into the 90s, but with the humidity, it could feel like triple digits in the city. Con Edison is asking customers to conserve energy whenever possible to help avoid outages. They say they have crews ready to respond, though, to any service problems. We're getting our first look at the man wanted for the latest shooting in Times Square. This happened Sunday evening, and police say it stemmed from a dispute between 2 men. And a 21-year-old man visiting from upstate New York got hit by a stray bullet that ricocheted. Thankfully, police say he's expected to be okay.
So I was just shocked that in Times Square, with tens of thousands of people and police everywhere, that a shootout could happen.
The shooting happened just steps away from where a 4-year-old girl and 2 others were hit by a stray bullet back in May. Flames were pouring out from the window of Flushing Hospital in Queens. This is citizen video from Flushing on Sunday night. We're told that the fire was in part of a building where there are offices, not patient rooms, and no one was in that office area at the time, thankfully. No word yet, though, on what caused the fire. More votes are being counted in the New York City Mayoral Primary, with a focus now on absentee ballots. Tuesday, we're going to start to see how ranked choice voting will begin to affect the count. That's when the Board of Elections releases its preliminary report for the first round. Similar reports are going to be released each Tuesday until a candidate gets more than 50% of the vote, and that count can be certified. New Jersey's own Sydney McLaughlin punched her ticket to Tokyo. McLaughlin broke a world record, too, by running the 400-meter hurdles in 51.9 seconds. She is the first woman ever to run the race under 52 seconds, and her family was there to celebrate with her in the stands. Well, we told you about how the city's trying to keep people cool as we enter this heat wave, how hot it's going to get.
That's right. Dangerous heat and humidity expected for the next several days. Even this evening, no relief from the heat. Temperatures still in the 80s, even as late as 10 p.m. Midnight, 82 degrees, just to give you a sign of how this heat is hanging on. You can see temperatures very slowly dropping. The humidity is so high, so what it feels like later on, it still feels like 90s around 6 p.m., 100 in Newark. No real relief overnight, and tomorrow we do it again. High temperatures back to the 90s, and you can see even in the morning, it feels like 95 degrees at Newark. A very difficult commute getting in on your Tuesday, and this goes on for Wednesday as well. So it is a very rough go out there. Overnight tonight, no relief from the heat, no relief from the humidity. Temperatures only down to the 70s. The AC stays on. Back to you.
On this hot day, remember to check on your pets to see if they're okay. And now New York Live takes us to a place in New Jersey where some special animals are getting treated very well.
Today we are in Hampton, New Jersey, visiting a very special place. It's a sanctuary for farm animals, and it goes by the name Goats of Anarchy. Leanne, you went from New York City corporate events planner to goat mama. How did Goats of Anarchy come to be?
One day I drove past a farm and I saw these cute little goats, and I visited them, and I was just really blown away. You know, they wanted to interact with me, and they were just so curious and funny and intelligent. I started a little Instagram page to document just their silly antics, and at the time I was binge watching a show, Sons of Anarchy, so I just kind of as a joke called the Instagram Goats of Anarchy, and never meant that to go anywhere, but 600,000 followers later, here we are.
You have 30 acres out here in Hunterdon County and 250 animals on site?
250 animals, 150 of those are goats, but we also have cows, horses, donkeys, sheep, alpaca, birds, pigs.
There may be many, but each member of the Goats of Anarchy family has a special story.
Who is this?
That's Lila. She was the first baby that we had born with 3 legs. Miles was the second goat that we have to have a prosthesis, and he's probably one of our biggest success stories. He was born very deformed on his front end. It was about a year-long rehabilitation for him.
With only a small staff to look after their growing farm family, they rely on big hearts for help.
We are always looking for volunteers. We're also always needing donations for things like our medical care, which is very costly.
I think as hard as it is to hear some of the stories about the goats here today, the silver lining is really how lucky they are to have you. So thank you for showing us around and for all of the amazing work that you do.
Thank you so much for coming. We're so excited for you guys to share their stories.
After paying nearly $20,000 to a vocational school, a Long Island woman took issue with the safety clothing for her classes. That's because it only came in men's sizes, and she says it was way too big for her. When she couldn't get help, she said better get Baccaro. Here's News 4 consumer reporter Linda Baccaro.
She works in a man's world.
In the movie Flashdance, Alex Owens takes on the rarefied job of being a female welder. And that's what Christy Heckman of East Northport also hopes to do.
Because of COVID, so many people retired early, especially welders, older ones.
So Christy signed up with Apex Technical School in Long Island City, paying $19,500 for welding classes, which included safety equipment. But she says she didn't realize the welding jacket and gloves would be in men's sizes.
Everything I was supplied with, besides like the tools themselves, which are unisex, does not fit. Collar's not super tight so that like sparks and stuff fall into my jacket. Like when I'm trying to grab things, like my gloves are just folding over and getting in the way.
Christy told us she asked to order an extra small jacket, but was told the smallest she could get was a men's small. When she approached her teacher and the head of the program, she says she was told nothing could be done.
If I'm gonna pay $20,000 for a program, I sure as heck would like a jacket that fits.
She decided to get her own jacket in a woman's size and is now looking to get reimbursed about $60 for that cost. To do that, she said, better get Baccaro.
I felt that I had exhausted all my options.
We contacted Apex Tech, and they said that Christy's situation had initially fallen through the cracks and that she was initially given wrong information. They tell us they are happy to get this issue resolved, and so now, problem solved. Christy will be able to return the gear that is too big, and the school tells us she will receive a reimbursement for gear made specifically for women. Linda Baccaro, News 4, New York.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.